Welcome back to Racing Talk, the Lazy Day sister channel, your go-to pit stop for everything Formula 1 and motorsport. I'm Tubby, and today we've got huge news that's sending shockwaves through the paddock and the screens. So before we get into who we think is going to win the 2025 season, let's get into that. Starting off with Lewis Hamilton. Yes, the 7 times world champion himself. He's officially made the jump to Ferrari for the 2025 season. After over a decade with Mercedes, Hamilton's trading the Silver Arrows for the iconic prancing horses. He's going to be lining up alongside Charles Leclerc, making Ferrari arguably the most star-studded team on the grid. People are wondering, out of the two, who will be the quickest. It hasn't been all smooth sailing for Hamilton, as this week, when testing the Ferrari, he's had an incident. He walked away unharmed, but the incident has raised eyebrows about how quickly he's adapting to the new Ferrari setup and new team. The team is already working overtime to analyse the data and get him comfortable before the season opener. Could this be early growing pains or just a blip on the radar? Only time will tell. Is he pushing to get that 8th, or is he having a fall from grace? What does this mean for Mercedes? Well, they're putting their faith in the future, bringing in Kimi Antonelli, the young Italian prodigy, to partner George Russell. Antonelli's been lighting up the junior categories, and all eyes are going to be on him to see if he can handle the pressure of stepping into Hamilton's shoes. Let's not forget about Carlos Sainz, who's found a new home at Williams, teaming up with Alex Albon. Williams has been on an upward trajectory, and with Sainz's experience, this could only multiply. They could surprise many in the 2025 season. Over at Red Bull Racing, Liam Lawson steps up to join Max Verstappen as Sergio Perez exits the team. Lawson's promotion has been long awaited, and it will be fascinating to see how he handles racing alongside the world champion Max Verstappen, also adapting to that Red Bull environment. Meanwhile, McLaren keeps their dynamic duo intact with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, arguably in the top 3 driver pairings, while Aston Martin continues with Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. But we need to keep an eye out on all the rookies this season. Oliver Behrman at Haas, Jack Doohan at Alpine, and Isaac Hadjar at the Racing Bulls. And of course, we mentioned earlier, Kimi Antonelli, a part of Mercedes, and in my opinion, Liam Lawson could still be considered as a rookie, and they're all set to have F1 careers this season. So many things to light up the season, and many things could happen. That's it for the F1 news this week. We're going to have a quick conversation about who we believe is going to have the best season. To get into some of my 2025 predictions of who I believe is going to win next year, I believe that the constructors are going to be against McLaren and also Ferrari, as they have the 2 strongest driver lineups, in my opinion, of the top teams, and also possibly the 2 strongest vehicles. So counting on those 2 factors, I believe the fact that having 2 drivers on both teams means that they're going to be scoring more points than most of the others. I believe that the Red Bull Racing team is going to struggle with Liam Lawson in that second seat, therefore not maximising the amount of points to be able to fight for the constructors. As for the Drivers' Championship, I believe it's going to be against Max Verstappen, as that Red Bull is still going to be a strong vehicle. I just think that Liam Lawson isn't going to be able to adapt to it as well as others. You can see by the history of the vehicle. So that means that Verstappen will be able to maximise that vehicle and get points. But I think he's going to have a challenge against either of the McLaren drivers, depending on who gets the better season at the start. And possibly you'll have Charles Leclerc sniffing in there. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that I believe Hamilton would be able to sniff in for it, but I just don't think he's going to be able to adapt to that Ferrari this season. It might take another one before we see him come into his flow. That's my opinion. Buckle up, folks. 2025 is already shaping up to be a season for the history books. That's all for today on Racing Talk, the Lazy Day sister channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and drop us a comment with your thoughts on Hamilton's big move, the test, crash, and also how many rookies are going to be in the 2025 season. I'm Tubby, and I will catch you next time. where we will dive deeper into the world of Formula One and possibly have a guest on too. Keep racing.